Hi, good afternoon, folks. In this video, I want to go over 6 keys I believe that Granato will need to accomplish going into next season to have any success with the young Sabres. Coming up. Okay, I wrote down a few notes here because I didn't want to board this one. I didn't have to put this one on the board. I could just have it in the book here, and we can go over them. I came up with 6 things that I think are going to be key upcoming season if we're going to surprise anybody and accomplish anything that nobody thinks we can accomplish, like running for a playoff spot or something, right? I mean, these are all things that I believe can happen. And people say, why do you believe that? Well, I believe in the impossible because nobody else does, as per one of my heroes, Florence Griffith Joyner. Okay. So let's look at number 6. Okay, number 6. I put number 6. Continue to make the kids believe in themselves and their teammates. Now, when the season kicked out, we seen something was happening. Things were happening. Look, we weren't this mega powerhouse team or anything like that, but it was special what happened because we came back from nowhere to having fun playing hockey again, all in the span of a few months, And I believe a lot of that was Granato killing the Kruger buzz, so to say, with these kids and bringing in some sort of a belief that things can get better and things will get better, but we have to follow this plan for that to happen. And I think the kids bought into it, and we've seen the result of it. They were kind of like, I would say, a sub-500 team, which, folks, if you would have told anybody they would finish the way they did, nobody in the world would have believed it. People were saying we weren't going to win another game, and we finished 9-11, 9-11 in the toughest division when those teams were trying to win every single game down the stretch, too, let's not forget, right? Without our goalie, without our top players, right? Just saying. All right, number 5. Teach the kids a 200-foot game. Make sure they're finishing their hits, all accountable for each other. We have to have that the play of every player is on page with everybody else. We have to have a team unit out there. We can't just have some guys being selfish. And this is why I want guys like Olofsson gone. Sorry, I do. There's certain guys out there I just can't stand on this team. He's one of them. And I know there's fans in Buffalo that like Olofsson. I can't stand the guy. I wish we'd just trade him. I'd be happy to get a second rounder for him and move on, because we can put anybody on the power play can score goals, folks. It's, you got to be able to play a 200-foot game and hit, and you got to play the whole game. You got to play the whole game, not just scoring on the power play, a one-dimension type player, and giving this guy first-line minutes when they should really not be going to him, right? So yeah, the 200-foot game I think is important, and I think there's some floaters on the team we got to get rid of. We do. We're not just these trades we're going to make here, because we're going to be losing one of our biggest bangers when we lose Ristolainen, right? We're going to lose our main mean guy. Team has to pick up that slack. They're going to have to. All right, number 4, I think is important. I put give chances to all to succeed or fail, including a guy like Skinner. I think what we have to do next year, if Granato's going to succeed, he's going to succeed with guys like Skinner. He's going to bring Skinner back from the dead to respectability where he's having a decent season. Doesn't have to be the 40-goal season. Forget that. Let's get that out of our heads, okay? When we signed that contract with him, we weren't even thinking then 40 goals a season. We were thinking 30, which was realistic. It's basically what he's done for his career, right? And I was thinking when they signed him to 8 years, they're hoping to get 5 years of 30 goals out of him. That's what I was thinking at the time. So if he could still get 4 30-goal seasons, I'm just saying, which is I know it's kind of a long shot the way it looks, but let's see what Granato does with this guy with a full season. If he turns him into a good two-way player who scores 20 goals a year, I think we'll all be good. Really, I do. I think we'd all be good if we could see Skinner turn it around and turn his play around the other end where he's coming back and he's forechecking and, things like that. It doesn't mean the guy has to score a ton of points to be successful in this league. It means he has to learn how to play the game properly at all aspects. I'd rather have a guy that does a little less offensively, but plays the whole game properly. All right, number 3. I want to see, okay, and I think we will see this. I want to see Granato hold himself accountable when the team's not doing well, instead of holding the players accountable. You understand? I want to see him say things like, you know what, maybe I got to shift something up in practice. Maybe I got to do something just a little different. Maybe I got to twitch this, or I got to turn that this way. I want to see that kind of coach, where, because the thing is, that'll be infectious on the players, okay? If Granato will hold himself accountable, and don't think the players don't watch those press conferences when they get in their hotel room, folks. Don't think they don't. They do. They want to know what the coach said, because some of them, you know, it's a bit of a chaos and they didn't really hear what the coach had to say, right? So they want to, when they get to the hotel room or wherever they're staying, they check it out. Don't think they don't. They do. And I'll tell you, that would have a positive impact on the players when the coach holds himself accountable, not just them, meaning he's with them. You know, sail or sink, he's with them. That's important. Number 2, he's got to convince all to buy into a system, not just 90% of the team. The whole team has to be on board for this, okay? If the Sabres are going to succeed and overachieve, so to say, next year, like a bit of overachieving, which is, let's say, a 500 season, which I think is very possible, because I think any team in the league that's bad can go to 500 the next year with the proper guidance and approach and system. And if they can do that, if the Sabres can climb to that kind of ladder where now they're peeking in the league to see what's going on, because they're a 500 team now. If the Sabres can get to that and float around 500 most of the year, I think, honestly, that means they're buying into a system. They're buying into a system. If the Sabres start like 5-20, they're not buying into nothing, folks. I'll tell you right now. But if we start the season like, I don't know, 14-12, 14-12-4, something like that, 13-13-4. If we start the season something like that, they're listening to this man and they're trusting this man with their careers. And they're believing that what he says is the truth and can work, you know? And that's something I'd like to see. And number 1 for me, the most important I think Granato has to do, is he has to preach selflessness. He has to get a team in that dressing room that is very selfless, okay? They've got to be a selfless team. They've got to play for each other, not for themselves. And if they can do that and accomplish that, the sky's the limit. It really is. I'm a big believer in that. When you got a team that all buys into the fact this isn't about me, this is about you guys. And if we can get that kind of thinking going in that dressing room, not only is the culture going to change really quick, folks, I believe the culture shift is going to happen this season. I'm on the record already saying, I really believe this year we're just going to, not even use that as a stupid excuse anymore to have a losing season. It is. It's a dumb excuse as far as I'm concerned, So if the Sabres can do that this year, if they can learn how to be selfless, they'll be successful. That's my belief. It's honestly what I believe in my heart. That's what I think we need to do. And then we will worry about the pieces after and the additions. And I guarantee you something, guys. If the Sabres do all this and they have this kind of tight unit, even though, let's say, we're out of a playoff spot, we're all going to be hesitant as fans to do anything to change even that, right? Right? We don't want to shift what's working, but we have to be fearless also, and maybe down at the trade deadline, we have to make a move or two to try and put us over the hump and put us into a playoff race. We'll have to wait and see how the season unfolds. But I believe that these kind of things, if these things can take place, I just can't see the Sabres being bottom feeders. I can't. I can't see any team. Approach is everything. Mental well-being is everything. But preparation is the end result of all that, right? So this is the way we have to go, I believe. If we become a selfless team, we'll be a successful franchise again. I do believe that. All right, folks, on that note, I'm going to stop there. I'm taking a breather. Yeah, such a hard job, having to make videos. Just saying. I'm going to go watch a bit of TV. I'll get this video up for you guys, and I'll try and get another one or two up later on tonight. I'll see you then.